Yes, ma'am. Let me acknowledge former Commissioner Dumas.
My question is, where's the transparency amongst the commissioners that the public does not have a right to have access to what the minutes are as it relates to those that have maybe missed meetings or those that want to be informed about what's going on with the commission? I personally don't understand how you can vote for something publicly from people that want to know what's going on, to not know, to oppose something because of whatever's happening or because you choose the electronic way. My understanding, we are servants of the community, and this is doing the community, in my opinion, a disservice by not serving, by sharing the information that is requested.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dumas, thank you for your comments. That's why I did not vote. I agree with you. I did not vote for those minutes, but I think that the process, while the commission clearly has the votes to pass that motion, I think it was a mistake to do so in this manner. Thank you. Was your question a general question, or was it directed specifically?
Mine was primarily addressed as an understanding to get clarity of why the service is not being rendered to us, the community. It's a disservice.
Well, Ms. Dumas, it has been in the past that the minutes are not asked to be read at the time that they're supposed to be read, which makes them be piled up. You know, right, even tonight, there's 3 months of minutes that needs to be addressed and approved on, and that's what we approved on. The commissioner allows the minutes to be passed up, and it takes too much time. And I reached out to the office of ANC, and I was informed that the minutes does not have to be read at the meeting. Now, I understand that you may want to see the minutes, even hear the minutes, and I would print them out and put a stack on the table at the next meeting for all to see and for all transparency at each meeting.
With all due respect, I respect that you've gone through months of not reading minutes. What I don't understand or respect is that why has it been months? And based on what you just communicated was that you haven't had the opportunity for whatever reason. So in my mind, as a service, whether it was appropriate or inappropriate, the service would be to serve the community. And because part of the minutes of everything that's going on should be transparent. So my only statement is that the commission serve the community in all aspects, not on the different projects or individual concerns that individuals may or may not have. Is relative to just be transparent. I've never been in a meeting in any type of forum that there was not transparency from the mayor to whoever. And it's just unfortunate that this particular commission depends on being unresponsive to the needs of the community as it relates to what has been addressed. I can't speak on everything. I can only speak on what I see right here, right now, and some of the things that I've observed. And what I'm observing is a lack of unity to serve the community and a lack of transparency. And personally, I think you're doing a disservice by not being transparent with the things that, to all people, because I don't know that everyone has access to what you said that you had presented.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lewis.
And to go back to the issue of why the minutes were taking so long is the fact that transcription was being done versus the actual way of taking minutes. And as the former secretary for the commission, I actually contacted the ANC office and instructed them to share the proper method to take minutes. And now that they are known, our minutes should not take as long to be read. So hearing that it's going to take an extended amount of time is not accurate if the minutes are being taken appropriately.
Mr. Montague, then you, ma'am, and then Mr. Lee.
Just for the record, where are we supposed to go to get information about what the commission does and doesn't do? Is it just the minutes that are supposed to be there, or all other activities supposed to be? Is it the listserv that I'm supposed to go to? Because I don't get notifications of meetings from the secretary. I never had. I just want to know where to go to find it.
Mr. Montague, the commission secretary is supposed to post actions, minutes, properly approved minutes and actions that the commission takes on the ANC website through the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commissions, and frankly, that hasn't been happening.
There is no website.
It's okay. I just want to know, in addition,
There is an OANC website.
Is that the protocol for all commission information? Some we get here, some apparently don't. And I attended an SMD meeting where they had issues with people who didn't show up at the SMD meeting, but show up at the commission meeting. So I'm just trying to figure out where we're supposed to go to get the information that we like to have. So if that's the official place, that's fine, as long as I know where to go.
Commissioner, you're out of order. Ma'am, you have a question? Yes, sir.
My statement, I'm not going to give articulate review, but part of my concern is that when the minutes were read, the way that it was done, it just seems like, and I don't know how you operate, but it seems like you guys can have meetings where you kind of get that kind of stuff out of the way, like all your back and forth, that she transcribed it and all this other stuff, so that by the time we get to this meeting, that the meeting that we have now can be a productive meeting, and it doesn't seem to be, in my words, as catty, so that it does come down to, or at least it seems from my perspective, that you guys kind of, like, maybe you team up with somebody and you're against this person. That's the way it appears in my eyes. And that's the part, I don't have a problem. I don't get listserv, but I've been in, and I understand that for the people that haven't been here, but I've been here to these meetings. And hell, I don't want the damn minutes by the time y'all finish doing all this cat back and forth. And my apologies.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Lee and Commissioner Lewis, then Ms. Bernard.
And I agree with you, ma'am, because we should have a committee of the whole meeting so we can iron out these things before we get to the meeting. And I requested to have one. I'm the vice chairman. Everybody doesn't get the official email does not work. I'm not aware of that. I asked the question with the ANC Commission, the ANC office, how do we get these in? And all I had to do was request my email address and request a password, and they sent it to me. So if you look on the line, it does say that it hadn't worked in the past, but currently they said they corrected everything. So all the commissioners have to do is request the ANC password, and then they'll be able to come. Because I think we should, as far as that being open, I think we should communicate on the ANC emails they provide for us. Not only that, because then it's private. You know, you don't want to be having back and forth my personal stuff on the city's ANC. Well, I don't want my personal stuff, ANC stuff on my personal webpage or my personal email address. So I made a request. I did not know all the commissioners didn't get their request to have a committee in the whole meeting prior to this meeting. And I didn't get a response from all of the officers. So I did call one verbally, and I called it up the message on the ANC phone that they provide, the phone number they provide to me. I never got a response. So I'm saying now, commissioners, let's let them hear, so they want transparency. What you said is right. Let's schedule an ANC committee of the whole meeting so we can iron out our differences, and then we come, because see, I want to vote my conscience. I'm not catting with anybody. I'm gonna vote my conscience, what I think is right. And like I said, I didn't think Mr. Hastings' thing was right. I'm not ready for 3-story apartment buildings in people's backyards, so that's why I didn't vote for it. So I'm gonna vote my conscience or what I think is right for the neighborhood, and I claim all of Trinidad. Even though it's three S&Ds, I claim all of Trinidad because we're all one neighborhood. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not against all the rest of the neighborhoods, but I think that I like to work with my commissioners, and I was chastised by my commissioner on that same issue today, but we're gonna work things out and work together. But that's why I like to see the same thing. I like us to meet and not go to this back and forth argument and saying that, you know, people accusing things of that, accusing of this, and the minutes aren't right, and the minutes just have to be a summary, they don't have to be verbatim, and then one time we want to follow Robert Rules of Order, then the next time we don't want to follow Robert Rules of Order. So I completely agree with you. So I like for the chairman to schedule a meeting in public so you guys are here, to give us a date when we can meet as committee of the whole. Now, if she chooses to do that or chooses not to do that, I will do that, but I will give that, I'm gonna leave that to the
Commissioner
chairman.
Lee, I think, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Commissioner Lee, for sharing. There's some misinformation here. The vice chairman has no authority to call a committee of the whole meeting. That's the role of the chairperson. And a committee of the whole meeting a committee of the whole meeting does not address the transparency issues that are raised by sharing the minutes publicly. Ideally, the minutes are supposed to be prepared by the secretary prior to the meetings and sent electronically for the commissioners' feedback. That still does not relieve the secretary, or it does not negate a legitimate request to read the minutes. Even if the commissioners were in fact able to weigh in on the minutes and to give their necessary corrections, if someone requests that the meeting minutes be read publicly, that's a reasonable request, and certainly the commission ought to honor it. I would ask that the commission, for those of you who have been coming, there are obviously some concerns, and we look forward to remedying those concerns. Because I appreciate the fact, I appreciate the fact that you come, you participate, and you've been doing well in that regard, and we've had very well-attended meetings, and I hope that you will continue to do so, and I hope that you will encourage your neighbors to come. Because going back to that 109 homicides that we've had, this is critical, and we need all hands on deck. So certainly, I want to just encourage citizen participation. I see one of my neighbors here, one of my good neighbors up here in this ward will pick on you. You've come to the meeting tonight. I've not seen you before, and I hope that you will come again. And certainly, I see one of my other neighbors in the back that I haven't seen in a while. I'm always glad to see people come to these meetings. So moving right along, I think Ms. Bernard, you had a question?
Yeah, you guys were talking about the website for posting the minutes. What's the address?
I don't have that committed. You can Commissioner Bugs or you can contact the office of the Advisory Neighborhood Commission.
But that's a website for ANC 5D.
No, that's they are a repository. They have a website for all commissions, and all minutes may be sent to that office for posting for public dissemination. So if the secretary has not reached out to Mr. Simon to make that request, then I would suggest here in this public forum that be addressed sooner rather than later. Any other questions or concerns?
Oh, am I able to make an announcement at some point?
Yeah, there's an announcement portion. Just
okay.
Yes,
I'm here.
Commissioner Lewis. We're moving on.
I'm gonna make it brief. Back to the committee of the whole meeting. Legally, we are not required to have them. I have a very busy S&D, and I have many meetings that need to be addressed. So a non-productive meeting is not going to be on my agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, are there any, briefly, Commissioner Dumas, then we're gonna move on.
I just have a very brief statement. Basically, I just wanted to commend Commissioner Lee for taking a very strong approach and wanting to bring everyone together in the sense that you all can come to an agreement to settle whatever it is that needs to be settled before it's brought to the commission. I respect wholeheartedly the neighbor to the right of me who said that she doesn't want to be a part of something that's quote unquote catty in her words. So I think those two, I think that was a strong leadership statement for him to stand up and make. I also just want to say very briefly to Commissioner Lee that when you do vote, that you vote for the voice of the people versus voting for the voice of your conscience.
Thank you. Mr. Bing?
I'm trying to say that, repeat that statement.
Okay, I said I have a very busy, active commission or district. I have a very active one. So for me to sit here, because this is required as a commissioner, I'm supposed to come here. I don't want to have a lot of other meetings on my agenda because that takes away from me actually being able to work within my district. If we cannot be productive, you know, and if we're actually going to vote as allies versus actually voting on the issues, Commissioner Lewis won't be at those meetings. And
let me say this. one is in turn unproductive. I think the fact that since the beginning of the year, we haven't had we've had back and forth, we've had different, we've had this and that. For the commissioners to come together as a whole seems to me productive. And at some point, and I'm be frank with you, I don't want to go back right now and hear all the minutes read that all of those months that we passed it. But at some point, we ought to pick up from somewhere and be able to move on. And I think that if you're going to come together as a collective body and serve the people, like you chose to do what you was voted to do, then to say that coming together on a meeting so you can iron out all this is unproductive is gives you something to think about.
I did not say it was unproductive to meet.
Well,
We've had other meetings,
that's
however,
what I-
when.
Okay, that's what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying,
not
not
trying
together,
to-
when you say unproductive and you would not be a part of it. I don't know what it is, but at some point, you're gonna have to put the people first.
And I typically do.
And I'm just, excuse me, I'm not saying this to you, I'm saying it to the whole group of y'all.
Right.
At some point, you're gonna have to put the people first. That is the agenda.
Right.
You know, we always say about what you're gonna do for the people, with the people show us. I would like to have one meeting this year that would just run smooth.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We
Mr.
have meetings every.
Thank you. Mr. Montague?
As briefly as I can, I've spoken to commission members.
I'm sorry, can you
last
speak
week.
up, please? I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I've spoken to 3 commission members since the last meeting to do, at least in part, what's being done here tonight. I think it is entirely discouraging that 3 commissioners have said a meeting of the whole cannot be functional. You are 1 vote short of saying nothing here is ever going to get accomplished. And as a citizen, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to show up to these meetings if that is what almost the majority of the commissioners say when you talk to them directly.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I don't want to hold it to Deputy Mayor, but like you said, I requested,
We're gonna
and I
move
put
on
up the
to
request
Mr.
out, and I want to move forward. And just like you asked me to reach out, when you personally asked me to reach out to Commissioner Henderson, I did reach out. I met with her prior to the last meeting. I reached out to Commissioner Lewis. I'm trying to put the olive branch out there and but I just don't understand.
Thank you, Commissioner Lee.
It baffles me.
I'm simply saying
Thank you.
that subsequent to my conversation with you, I've had other conversations with other commissioners. Commissioner Lewis is sitting here right this evening saying that this can't happen because nothing is going to be accomplished, which is effectively what the other 2 commissioners that I spoke to said to me. All right? I want this kind of a meeting with the citizens involved so we could get past this and try to get something done. And I'm not encouraged.
Thank you, Mr. Montague. I'm going to acknowledge that Deputy Mayor Snowden has arrived. The time is now 8:16. We still want you to weigh in and provide your input. You've waited this long. So I'm going to put a motion, I'm going to ask for the treasurer's report, and then we're going to quickly move on. Deputy Mayor Snowden, come on up front and get positioned, catch your breath, and we'll get ready. Is there a treasurer's report, Mr. Shropshire?
Yes, I have 3 things to report. Number 1, I'm happy to say that we have a security fund in place now. And secondly, I want to report on the balance of our bank account. There have been no transactions, so the balance still remains at $53,877.35. So that's our balance. And the last thing that I want to report on is that we got, so each quarter we get a letter to state whether or not we get our next allotments for our quarter. So this is from quarter one and from quarter two. So from quarter one, there is an allotment that was released for $3,335.85, but our typical allotment is $4,082.66. There were some deductions that were taken, and they were for check number 153 for $300, check number 154 for $442, and they were deducted because these were not allowable expenses. It was for plaques that were, I guess, awarded last year in quarter one. Then we have a check number 228 that was for $4.81 that contained only one signature, and all of our checks have to have two signatures. So a total of $746.81 was deducted because of those disallowable expenses. For the second quarter, we got our full allotment of $4,082.66. So that's the treasurer report. I move to approve the treasurer report. Yes.
I have a question. I received an email on August 27th in reference to our account. Has that been taken care of? That's all I want to know, because the public needs to know.
Do you want to read that email? I don't have a copy of it.
You treasurer, I'll let you read it. But it was sent, I have all the ABC commissioners should have got a copy of it, because I was concerned about this. So you the treasurer, and I feel that you need to read it, because the public needs to know about it.
So this is a letter that we got from the auditor's office on August the 27th, and it said, "Dear ANC 5D commissioners, we have been informed that a member of ANC 5D has visited different TD Bank branches around the city requesting a change in signers and to access the account, and that this is causing concerns among bank branch staff. As a preemptive measure to protect the assets of ANC 5D, I've requested that the Office of Finance and Treasury place a freeze on the account, and that custody of the ANC 5D's checkbook be maintained at the Office of the DC Auditor. Because this is an administrative issue within the ANC, I recommend that your ANC meet with Mr. Simon, Director of the Advisory Neighborhood Commissions, to assist in resolving this matter. We will be in contact with Mr. Simon, and once the issues have been resolved, we can notify OFT to remove the freeze and return checkbook to the ANC. In the meantime, those authorized to issue checks on behalf of the ANC may do so at the Office of the Auditor, the Auditor's Office, with adequate supporting documentation. Once the checkbook has been received in our office, the freeze can be removed from the account. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me."
I'd like to see a copy of that letter.
What's going on?
Oh, okay, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Lewis Perk. Okay, he's the deputy director. Excuse me, order of Columbia Audit. Okay, the Office of Auditors. Excuse me, I see you, Ms. Taylor. Let me just say this. We have a letter being circulated. We don't know the authenticity of this letter. There's just an excuse me, there's order. The letter has not been circulated, so I'm not even sure what the laughter is about. There is clearly no transparency here. But let me just share this. There is an allegation of malfeasance. 3 members of this commission went to the Rockville branch at 350 Goody Drive, the TD Bank at Rockville in Rockville, to sign on to the account without authorization. And in looking at this matter, there's quite a long paper trail of issues that seem to have been aided and abetted by the Office of ANCs. And as a result, an investigation has been requested through the Office of the Attorney General, the Office of the Inspector General, the Office of the Chief Technology, the Office of the CFO, And the account is already frozen, so there didn't need to be any additional requests to freeze the account. The account is already frozen at my original request back in January of this year, and it remains frozen. The 3 individuals on the account were not voted upon by this commission. This commission has taken no action to add any individuals to the account. I am the only person, actually there are 2 people that were on the account. I'm the original signer on the account. I opened the account. Commissioner Lewis was the second signer remaining on the account when she was the secretary. She was to be removed, and that would have left me. These 3 individuals have actually taken what appears to be fraudulent action to remove me from the account, and again, they signed on to the account. And this action is inappropriate. If there are any questions,
I want to make a comment.
yes.
I have not gone to any banks, and I'm not a current officer, so there is no way that my name is on the account. So I have no hands in any of that.
Commissioner Lee? And I'm sorry, Commissioner Taylor, then Commissioner Lee?
I'm wondering, can we, I know the deputy mayor is here, is this something that can be seen for concerns? Because I'm concerned, and I'm not pointing fingers anywhere, I just want more information. I don't feel like I've gotten that, so if we can, is that something that can be
Well, we're
done?
on the matter now. We're gonna put this matter to rest and move on and have a robust discussion with the deputy mayor. What are your concerns?
I need more information. I mean,
Like what?
Other questions, like, who are the people who allegedly went to the bank and stuff like that?
Oh, okay.
I mean, these are concerns about possible, you know, well, people not knowing what they should be doing, perhaps there's
Yes.
an opportunity to shed light.
Yes, the 3 individuals that signed on to,
No, I was talking about the letter that was read. It made reference to an.
I can't reference that letter, Ms. Taylor, but I can tell you that the 3 individuals that signed on to the account are Keisha Shropshire, Clarence Lee,
Vice Chairman.
and Commissioner Bugs. And I can tell you that the commission did not take any action to vote, did not vote to add any of those individuals to the account. And there is also an issue that it seems that Mr. Simon actually abused his authority to cause TD Bank to violate their own protocols and to accept non-standard documentation. So a detailed complaint has been made and you will be informed. And it's also been sent to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Commissioner Lee, then Commissioner Shropshire.
Our ANC guidelines require that one person has to be on the account that's either the chairman or the treasurer. When the chairman did not put a name on the account with the treasurer, then we need 2 people's names on the account. And as the vice chairman, I look at it as my responsibility to step in when the chairman is not available. Now, if the chairman is on the account, I will not sign any check if the chairman is not available. I don't know if the chairman's on the account. But that's the reason why my name is on the account, because to keep things flowing. If the chairman's not here, part of my responsibility as vice chairman, I'm supposed to step up. And so to be able to step up, that's why I put my name on the account. I am not signing any checks. I have not signed any checks because the officers have been here. So I don't know if you call that malfeasance or, and I don't go to Maryland. I'm a DC boy. I went to TD Bank on Rhode Island Avenue at Home Depot. I stand 5 deep. I stand the fifth. You know, I was born here. Well, I'm not going to be buried in Mount Olive, but hey, this is my home. I don't go into Maryland. Don't get me wrong, but I do all my shopping in DC. In regard to Maryland about the gas and
let me respond here. First of all, I'm the only commissioner with perfect attendance. There has never been an opportunity when I've not been available. And action has been taken, and I have a very long paper trail, and action has been taken that is non-standard. Typically, bank protocols require that a signer on the account is to accompany new signers to the account and to make any adjustments. That is standard banking procedure. In this instance, that did not happen. Mr. Simon engaged a member of the CFO